and welcome to this special edition of ET Now Startup Central. We are coming to you live from Amazon India's headquarters right here in Bengaluru. I'm Chandrashri Kant, and joining me is a very special guest, Amit Agarwal, the head of Amazon India, who's just concluded the Great Indian Festive Sale, and I think this is the second edition of it.
Well, it concludes tonight.
It concludes tonight, and I've got
People still have a few hours to shop.
Okay, I've got a few numbers upright from your team, and they say that it's been the most visited and transacted shopping destination. More than half of offline shoppers chose to buy on Amazon. Just take us through how the response has been.
We actually have data from this credited study, IMRB, that empanels 50,000 plus shoppers from 300 plus cities. And what the data indicates is during this holiday festive season, 50%, more than 50% of total online Indian shoppers shopped on Amazon. Okay. So we are very excited to see that kind of adoption. And what is also exciting is that more than 70,000 sellers received at least one order. And when I look at some of the sort of sub-metrics and double-click on it, we saw that 99.3% of India's PIN codes placed orders. So it is very prevalent across the country. We're seeing 89% of new customers coming from small towns. Very exciting to see that 80% of the customers that shopped with us last festive season came back and shopped with us again. And Prime is showing very robust growth, growing nearly 2x. So all in all, from our focus has been to attract the next 100 million customers and to engage the current customers to become Prime members, and we're seeing tremendous traction.
Right. Amit, compared to the last, say, 2 or 3 years, what would you say about this year's sale? Even if you cannot give us, specific numbers would be great, but have you sort of seen your sales doubling, or, in terms of the quantity of sales or the money that you've made these days? Just take us through how bigger or better it's been in terms of scale and scope compared to the previous years. Are you still seeing the momentum, or do you still have to sort of spend to bring customers to your platform?
No, I think the health of an e-commerce business should be measured in terms of how efficiently it's able to bring new customers, how fast the new customers are adopting, and how good a job it's doing to engage its existing customers that become loyal customers. So I did give some data elements out there that are very important indicators. When you have 80% of the customers that shopped with you last festive season that come back to you, and when your new customer growth continues to increase at a very rapid pace, then these customers will form the leg of your future growth.
Right.
And when I look at loyalty, Prime growing 2x year over year shows the fast pace at which Prime is being adopted by customers. When I look at across categories, large appliances grew 2.5 times year over year. Fashion for us grew more than 100%. And fashion was our leading category in terms of new customer acquisition. So it's not only growing fast, triple-digit growth, but it's also becoming one of the first categories that customers shop with when they come to Amazon.in. Our other home category grew 3 times. Our consumables category, when we look at Amazon Pantry, which is our grocery offering, has grown 10 times year over year. We continue to see robust growth across all the categories. Of course, smartphones still remain the larger share of value. Fashion becomes our leading new customer acquisition, and both fashion and consumables are the larger
in fact, I was just
customers.
coming to that. In terms of categories, is it still dominated by smartphones, large electronics, and will fashion be the second? And are you increasingly seeing a lot of interest as far as the home furnishing category is concerned? Because that's being touted as the next big thing for e-commerce players.
I think the good thing is we have always seen a very healthy mix of things that customers shop with us. When you have more than 170 million products, you can service the need of every customer, and you can service diverse needs of each customer.
Right.
So we have always seen a very healthy mix across all our categories. Having said that, smartphones and consumer categories are the larger value share. Fashion for us, as I said, is the largest from a new customer share, and fashion and consumables are the largest in terms of transacting unit share. And home categories, as you say, are growing very fast. They grow 3 times. Prime customers shop across all of these categories, and as we see these new customers coming in, becoming repeat customers, become Prime members, they continuously shop across all these categories. So that's the flywheel effect we like seeing.
Right. Was the pressure, perhaps amplified this time around because this is the first big sale after the biggest deal that we've seen in the e-commerce space, Walmart, acquiring Flipkart. We've also seen Paytm Mall raise big money, and you've seen Reliance make a huge debut as far as the retail space is concerned. They have ambitions for e-commerce. So was there more pressure perhaps this time around for you to stand out or make up for this?
Yes, see, I tell this to my team, and we wake up paranoid every single day. Being paranoid that customers would only use us until the moment they find a better experience elsewhere. So no matter how the landscape changes, our paranoia is very high every single day because we are extremely focused on serving customers. We measure our daily success on whether we added more selection. We made things more price competitive for customers to shop, and we made things faster and more reachable for our customers to get access to. So from that perspective, we really don't focus on how things are changing around us, because the three pillars of customer experience and selection, value, and convenience will remain invariant over long periods of time. You and I would be sitting here 10 years down the line, and still customers would want more selection and great price and fast delivery.
I met, one of your rival companies, CEO Kalyan Krishnamurthy, at the height of the festive season, and he made a very audacious statement. He said, we haven't had any significant competition this festive season. Flipkart has perhaps dominated with a majority share. How would you really rebut those claims?
Well, I can only talk about how we are doing. And, I like to keep focus on customers and not really pay attention to what's being said out there. When you have more than half of total India online shoppers shopping with you, 99.3% of all India PIN codes placing an order, when you have 89% of your new customers coming from small towns, Prime growing 2x, when you have 100,000, 70,000 plus sellers getting another, at least one order, and you growing at such a rapid clip, if anybody told me that this is where we would be 5 years ago when we started, I would have never believed it. So I'm super humbled and overwhelmed by the response that we are seeing, and we'll continue.
So according to you, Amazon sort of, you finished first this festive season.
Well, as I said, we focus on things that mean to customers. So we're very focused on the new customer growth, engagement, and how customers are shopping. We're not really focused on trying to record a single high day. We are very focused on serving customers across all their needs. So when I look at a very creditable study out there that indicates that more than half of Indian shoppers shopped on Amazon, I'm super delighted.
But should we also look at this perhaps in terms of the units or the amount per customer, or I don't know what category you will use. Will you say revenue per user, or the amount spent per customer, or the lifetime value in terms of they come back? Are those other parameters that we should
all of these, when defined the right way, we would love to be compared. I don't like to comment on speculations and baseless claims. So trying to get focus on how new customer growth is happening, how Prime is growing, that indicates how customers are becoming more loyal to Amazon, are absolutely the kind of metrics that we measure our success, and we can only comment on our data.
Right. Ever since Amazon Prime launched, I think in December 2016, that's become a huge driver for you, a real shot in the arm when it comes to sales. In terms of the adoption, are you still seeing that at the current pace? Because initially you had an inaugural offer that was very attractive. Now, of course, the prices have been slightly bumped up. But are you seeing the same level of interest and adoption as far as Prime is concerned?
So Prime continues to be... The Prime in India continues to be the fastest growing across all our geographies. So India is the fastest growing geography for Prime. Prime in India is the highest engaged base compared to all geographies.
Right.
And as I said, Prime grew nearly 2x. So we continue to see very robust growth of customers adopting Prime. At the end of the day, for 129 rupees a month, even at the current price, to get fast next day, 2-day guaranteed delivery, free, to get unlimited streaming of 30 million plus songs, to get unlimited ad-free streaming of Amazon originals, all the blockbusters.
In fact, I just read today that you're planning to invest further in more languages and more
yeah,
offerings and more originals.
We just launched Kannada content. We have content in 6 different languages, including in addition to Hindi. So Hindi and Bengali, Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, Marathi, and more. We continuously add regional content. We have a pipeline of 30 Amazon originals in the coming months. So they are in different stages of their life cycle of production. So you'll start seeing them come at a healthy pace, and then over a time stabilize to originals launching every month. So we have significant investment because we are seeing tremendous engagement of Prime members with Amazon Prime Video and with fast free shipping. And that's evident in the growth that we are seeing. That's evident in how customers are coming back and signing up for Prime.
Right. Experts often say that you cannot win commerce in India unless you've won grocery, because it's such a huge chunk of spend for Indian customer. Right now, a lot of it is happening offline, but you are seeing a push not just from Amazon but from other players as well. What ambitions do you have here, Amit? What sort of traction have you already seen with offerings such as Amazon Now and Pantry, and how are you going to scale this up in the next year?
So our belief is very simple. As I said, we want Amazon to be the place where customers come to find discount and buy anything online. We have from very beginning been one of the rare marketplaces out there that has focused on just adding selection across instead of trying to sell a specific item. And we launched our pantry program that provides non-perishable grocery offerings to customers in about 30 cities. Prime is growing. They grew 10 times year over year. So this is like an explosive growth that we are seeing in how customers are adopting. We see a high correlation between Prime members and grocery shopping. I'm very excited about it. And we see the quality of customers improving on Amazon constantly. Another metric that, though it's not related to grocery, that was very compelling for me this festive season was 75% of Amazon's sales were powered by Amazon Pay, which is a huge percentage of our selection now coming through digital payment methods.
Right.
And that this whole quality of customers, because they trust Amazon, they come to us often, they're Prime, and now because of Prime, they're using Amazon Pay. This whole flywheel is moving for us.
Right.
And we are seeing that happen, and we're very excited by the progress that we have in grocery.
Right. On the note, I'm going to take a quick break at this point, but don't go anywhere. Amit's going to stay with us for 5 or 7 more minutes. We are going to, of course, ask him about omni-channel, which is the next big trend, as well as digital payments, how that's panned out for them. So take a quick break and come back for more on the other side of Startup Central. Welcome back to the special edition of ET Now Startup Central. Amit Agarwal is still with us, the head of Amazon India. Amit, we've also seen a very conscious push in the offline space. I mean, the parent Amazon making very conscious moves there. We saw a huge investment in Aditya Birla Group's more. There is speculation about, Future Group happening next week. What does all this mean in the larger scheme of things? Because you've also done a mega acquisition in the US with Whole Foods. So, how are you going to marry this with the kind of network that you've built up online?
I really cannot comment on speculations out there. I think from the perspective of serving customers, we want to make sure that it's convenient for customers to buy what they're looking for. So from that perspective, we are constantly testing experiences for customers.
At least the more investment is official now.
Well,
it's
in case
no longer
of
speculative.
That's an investment by a parent Amazon entity in a different company. We have more as one of the sellers on our marketplace that sells on Prime now, and they've seen very good traction in terms of customers opting for 2-hour delivery on Prime now. Having said that, we are constantly testing new experience for customers. We have in some of the stores, customers can also scan an Amazon QR code and shop for items. We are seeing very interesting findings as customers are doing that. We'll continue testing and figuring out how we can innovate and serve customers better.
Right. You mentioned how a lot of transactions are happening, using Amazon Pay, which brings me to my next point on data localization, because RBI has mandated that all payment data needs to be stored within India. While many people have welcomed this, there's also been some resistance from players such as MasterCard and Visa, and even Google, which believes there should be free flow of information across borders. What's your own take on this in terms of the compliance? Do you think it's too rigid, too stringent?
Well, our philosophy is very simple. We want to be compliant with the rules of the law, the rules of the land of the law. And we are based on that. We constantly work with the industry to offer our point of view on how.
But Amazon is already compliant with this RBI norm.
We have communicated how we are and how we will always remain compliant with whatever the rules are.
Right. In terms of the draft e-commerce policy, a lot of it has been said. There is still no clarity. But are you working with the government there? Do you again think that it could perhaps turn out to be too protectionist? Because that's the first sense that you got when points about the draft started making the rounds.
We haven't really received any draft, so I cannot comment on what's in the draft. All I can say is a lot of these policies are generally evolving. We participate through the industry to offer our point of view. At the end of the day, I think e-commerce has this incredible opportunity to just transform how commerce happens in the country. We are already seeing on Amazon, through our investments, small, medium sellers are becoming global brands.
Right.
Not just selling on Amazon.in, but they're selling on Amazon.com, and they're getting recognized as best-selling brands. And we are seeing consumers, as I talked about, from really small towns shop on Amazon. Like there's an island near Assam, Majuli Islands, it's isolated from the mainland.
We in fact covered that.
Yeah, and we talked about how that island was getting a few $100 orders a week. This festive season, it was a few $100 orders a day. So every passing of time, we are seeing e-commerce change how Digital India, how Make in India, how Skill India, a lot of the priorities that we want the new India to be focused on change. So from that perspective, we constantly offer our point of view on how that can happen while there's an inclusive growth in the country.
And in the headlines in the last few weeks, if you see, there's been a lot of worry on the macros front, the rupee front. But on the ground, are you seeing demand stay strong in the markets that you're seeing or the customers that you see? Is retail demand still very strong?
We are very excited by we had an expected and then we had an ambitious goal for this festive season. We exceeded our ambitious goal. And for me, that demand is coming from all across the country.
Right.
This is not with a selective group of people
the
buying.
The top 8 metros.
Yeah, and not just buying some, higher ASP products that they would probably have collected money to buy once a year. They're buying a broad spectrum of things. So that indicates the demand is broad-based. They are taking on to come online and renew their home or renew their lives in the ways that they want to. Also, there is a lot of enablement that's happening through online. So, financial inclusion was a big focus area for us this year, where we launched several products, including Amazon Pay, but several credit products.
Right.
And we saw that the customers on Amazon, first time taking to credit, grew 19 times year over year.
Sure.
So that's a dramatic increase in accessibility and affordability that we are seeing. That's causing the demand to increase further.
Right.
So while the macro trends are there are also a lot of good trends that online commerce is bringing that's allowing things to become more affordable.
Right. I have final 50 seconds. I'm going to end with a rapid fire. Amit, what did you buy this festive season on Amazon?
I bought a dishwasher.
Okay. What did you buy on a portal apart from Amazon?
I bought things, not really, I can't think of one. Because all my needs were surfaced on Amazon.
You didn't check out the other websites as well?
I think I was trying to see that of all the things that I shopped, Amazon pretty much fulfilled all my needs, so I didn't need to go anywhere else.
Okay. And what are you planning to buy in December? Have you decided the next edition of the sale is at all?
Well, I buy from Amazon every week, so I really don't plan my shopping on sales. I especially don't like to buy during sales because I feel I'm taking inventory away from genuine customers. So I try to make it a point not to buy during sales.
And what are you watching on Prime Video now? Final question.
That is a lot of great things. I'm really excited about some of the US TV shows. The new seasons are coming. The Marvelous Miss Daisy, Man in the High Castle. I'm looking forward to Mirzapur, which is a big release coming on November 16th. I would suggest that great actors, great writing, and I'm really looking forward to it.
All right. On that note, thank you so much for joining us on this
Thank
special
you.
edition of Stars. Happy Deepavali to you.
Happy Deepavali to everyone out there, and wish you a very healthy, happy, and prosperous New Year.
Right. On that note, thank you so much for joining us on this special show right from the Amazon India headquarters in India.
Thank you.